Good morning, everybody. How's it going? So, this week we will be discussing Rube Goldberg machines. So, we we've probably all heard of Rube Goldberg machines, but he was a tremendous cartoonist, um, and there's a whole lot more behind it, maybe than what we thought previously. So, Rube Goldberg was an American genius whose long and fruitful career as an artist, cartoonist, and writer created and changed the way that Americans perceived the oncoming machine age that defined the start of the 20th century. Like many looking to attend art school, Rube was discouraged by his father, a well connected real estate broker in San Francisco. After some amount of disagreement, the older Goldberg convinced his son to go to the School of Mining Engineering at the University of California in Berkeley. At the time, mining barons in California were paying six figures to engineers, and this was at the tail end of the 19th century. Goldberg's famed Dr. Butts is said to have been based on two of his professors at the School of Mining, Samuel B. Christie and Frederick Slate. One, a high pitched, extremely religious man who delivered overly long and complicated lectures, and the other, an inventor of an unnecessarily complicated and superfluous device to measure the weight of the Earth. His class was forced to use the device, but due to variance in air pressure and the number of pupils who used the device, none of these students were able to come up with the same answer. It seems that it may very well not have worked as efficiently as the professor had hoped. Nevertheless, these inefficiencies clearly influenced the thought processes of young Rube, who would go on to create a number of contrivances, waging a war against inefficiency as he tackled concerns as numerous and diverse as haircut reminders, getting rid of a mouse, and keeping shop windows clean. Goldberg was born during the American Age of Invention in the late 19th century, when important innovations were made in transportation, such as the railroad and the automobile, as well as in communication with the dawn of the telephone. As a result, the American public was fascinated with the idea of invention, seeing it as the means to increase one's station in life overnight. His cartoon and engineering work have made a lasting impression. As Rube Goldberg Inc., the corporation responsible for Goldberg's property rights, explains, Rube Goldberg is the only individual whose name is also listed as an adjective by Merriam-Webster. So, contemporary renditions of Rube Goldberg's machines and cartooning. We see his work uh, more often than we might think. A lot in films, a lot in TV, and still some cartooning too. Um, so today, in STEM and STEAM research and education, uh, individuals will conduct Rube Goldberg competitions, and many independent inventors still create YouTube stations and websites devoted entirely to work in this vein. From games to cartoons and to independent video series, Goldberg's homage to inefficiency lives on, which is not too bad for a man who abandoned an education in engineering to create cartoons. So, in this week, I would really like you to tap into your inner inventor and create two cartoons which will do something fairly inane or mundane, something that everybody does all the time, that maybe doesn't need a machine to help it out. And find a really odd and intricate way to make this action happen. So you'll find a few more videos on the Blackboard page, and you'll find a few more instructions in your homework assignment, which is also listed. So thank you, and please get back to me with any questions that you may have. Okay, have a good week.